Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to Should You Play Mortal Kombat X. Now, I've got so many mixed emotions about this game at the moment. This is, of course, the PC version as always, running at the higher settings of a GTX 980. Now, Mortal Kombat X is, of course, Mortal Kombat 10 sequel. The last one came out quite a few years now, and this is a next-gen only game, so immediately we are going to be greeted with better visuals, hopefully better gameplay, and just the whole thing is going to be a lot better. Well, I'm filming this on day 2. Day 1, this is day 3 actually. Day 1 it just didn't really work at all. They were testing out some new sort of download software type method thing, and it just didn't work, and it meant that pretty much everyone couldn't play the game because loads of it was locked out. That thing is now fixed, and you can access everything like you should be able to. If we go into the options menu, the audio, you can tweak it to how you like it. So at the moment I've got it turned down so you can hear my lovely voice. If you go into the PC video, there's not really that much here. I mean, it's pretty annoying. There's only an FXAA, that's it. Pretty stupid. You might be able to do some form of injector somehow, but you know, if it's not in the game, I can't critique it. So that's pretty annoying. You only have a choice of full screen or windowed, no borderless window. So to be honest, it's not the greatest options menu in the world. Texture quality, low, medium and high, shadow quality, advanced settings, you might be like, wow, that sounds great. Well, not really, there's not much in here either. I'd like some more settings here, but overall it doesn't make too much difference because the game runs well and looks great and is pretty easy to run off a single GTX 980. Can run this at 60 frames a second at 4K resolution, no problem whatsoever. Now we've got 3 main modes as always. We've got single player modes, we've got 2-player modes, and we've got online modes. There's this new thing, the crypt, which is where you can go in and unlock stuff that you get with coins. Everything in this game, anything that should start with a C starts with a K. I mean, to be honest, it's funny at first, but it gets pretty annoying. It's not really a big deal, but everything starts with a K. Crypt, coins, no matter what. Credits, all starts with a K. But if you go into the crypt, then you can unlock new stuff, and it's almost like a 3D adventure where you got to find items and you find tombstones and various things like that. You can unlock stuff like brutalities, skins, I believe, concept art and stuff like that in the crypt, which to be honest I quite like, but some people might find that annoying. The online I will talk about in a moment. I've literally just come out of about 6 games. The 2-player I haven't had a chance to test actually, but I imagine that will be fine. If it's not, I will leave something overlaid this video. But I've never had an issue with 2-player. But look, that's why I buy the game really, because I like, you know, you get your mates around and you can have a game. Story mode is pretty cool. There is a bug, and I am affected by this bug. If you test it, if you play it in 5.1 surround sound, then just don't do the story. Change it to stereo, because the center channel, whenever you go into cutscenes, disappears, which means you get no dialogue. So you get all these people talking, no dialogue. Okay. I haven't tested that on PC 5.1. I've only tested that on through an external AV receiver via optical 5.1, but that will probably affect you if you are doing 5.1. It's not just me. I've looked into it and it's not an isolated issue. If you're using surround sound, you will have to change it to stereo until it gets fixed, if it gets fixed. Towers is what we'll do now, which is where you battle your way to the top of the towers. It's almost like a separate story without the story, so if you just want to do a lot of fighting, that's the best way to do it. Single fight, pretty self-explanatory. You have a single fight against the AI. Test your luck. It's just fight against people with some random stuff. Training it's okay. Some of the stuff I had to skip, but at least you can skip some of the moves in the training. I'm using a controller, but keyboard is supported. Not the story, but yeah, the story is pretty good actually. From what I haven't finished it, but the story is pretty good, so I wouldn't worry about that. And it's one of the good things about Mortal Kombat. I've always found that the story is pretty good. Towers, one of them I believe has. No, okay, maybe not. I was going to say one of them has 5 opponents, but I don't think they do. Let's do test your luck. Johnny Cage. I like playing Johnny Cage. Goro over here is behind a £3 paywall if you haven't pre-ordered the game. So, yeah, it's a little bit annoying. To be honest, it doesn't bother me too much. I mean, this, I should put it out there, this actually isn't a review copy. This is one I picked up myself. I think I paid about £17, £18 for it. As a bit of background, I like fighting games, but I only got into them a couple years ago, and as a result, I'm probably not the best player in the world. I'll touch on it a bit later, but the multiplayer games I've played about 7, and I lost every single one, but I will get into why that is in a moment. So then, the game looks pretty damn good. Like I say, I've been playing it in 4K, and it really does shine. The old Mortal Kombat, of course, I could run in 4K, but that didn't look nearly as good as this. This is definitely a much, much better looking game. Particle effects, just the animations, everything is top drawer. And in a fighting game, you know what should be good? The fighting. And I tell you what, you know what is good? The fighting. Really, it's really fun. And you've got the classic brutalities, and you've got the classic fatalities as well, which are pretty unique to Mortal Kombat. But you've got a few moves and stuff in there as well that are new. And there's just so much customization as well, like because you unlock stuff in the script throughout you go, it's going to keep me amused for quite a long time, as well as just being one of those games that you can, I'm not doing very well here, one of those games you can pick up when your mates come around. Running off an SSD, load times are very good as well, if you're wondering about that. It's not the biggest game, I think it's about 23 gigabytes, which isn't small, but you know, it's not really going to bother many people. I've just realised that loads of the UI is missing from the screen. I don't know why that was. This is running in 1080p, so I don't know why. Maybe it was not missing for you. I don't know. Did I lose? No, I won. Okay. I think. I'm really confused as to what just happened there. I thought I was playing as Johnny Cage, but apparently not. Oh no, that was when I was doing the single fight thing, wasn't it? Oh, so this is sped up. Weird. Okay. You've got these sort of interactions with the map as well. This is actually really difficult to do. Like that, if you go near certain items, just like you had in the Warner Brothers, what was it called? The DC one. I can't remember what it was called now.
Round 2.
It's completely lost my mind. You know exactly what I'm talking about, with Batman and Superman, where you can interact with stuff. This is actually quite funny. I've never seen an X-ray attack like this before. Bang, bang. Muck him up, muck him up, muck him up. Remembering all the special moves, I find this a lot easier on Mortal Kombat than it is in other games, especially Super Street Fighter. I was never really good at doing the special moves in there. Even stuff like blocking is just so much easier. Right, I can bring this back. Even the announcer's sped up. It's just so brutal. Even when it's sped up, it's still horrendously brutal. But I can't see my health bar though, which is problematic. I don't know if that's deliberate or not. Probably not. Weird. There you go, win. Win, win, win. I'm meant to be showing you the gameplay normally. It's not really gone to plan, but showing you the towers. The towers are fun. It just means that things are a little bit different every time, because if you're playing a fighting game with the same character, it can get pretty boring time after time. What's the modifier? Throwing disabled. Okay. Oh, I have poison fists. That means I am... Was that it? What was that? Really? What is this?
Round 2. Fight.
Wow, this is bizarre. I didn't know what I was getting myself in for. I really didn't. But yeah, there's plenty of variety. Even if you just play the normal towers, then there's still a fair amount of variety. Obviously, you're using the same character throughout. You can change your character mid-tower if you want, but you're going to lose points, you can skip and things like that. But one of the big topics... Yeah, that's what I meant to say. One of the big topics... What's the modifier? Portal combat. And I'm bleeding, okay. Ray of super. Okay. But one of the big topics on Mortal Kombat that's been going around is the microtransactions that are in the game. And essentially, a game that's brand new has just come out. People have paid, especially like the console versions, they paid £40 or your regional equivalent. And then the first thing really is you get into the game, and then it's like go into the store and buy some season pass stuff, or buy some tokens and things like that. And what's my opinion on that? Well, I've kind of just trained myself to ignore all stuff like that. I mean, I went through a phase many years ago of buying all the DLC for Call of Duty, and we're talking quite a few years back. We're talking the World at War era, Modern Warfare 2 era. No, was it? Yeah, I think no, not even the Modern Warfare 2 era. It was just the World at War era. And that's about as far as I go as far as DLC and season passes and things like that. That's the only game I played at the time, so it made sense for me to be buying the DLC and season pass because I knew that I would want it. But here's the thing, it doesn't really damage the game. Even the pre-order Goro DLC is only £3, I believe, in the store. So it's not like it's massively overpriced or anything like that. I mean, for one character, £3 isn't too bad. And the price I've seen that you can pick this game up for, like I said, I managed to find it for £17. I don't think really it's a big deal. I mean, even for that £17, that included the pre-order bonus, so I wouldn't say it's a major deal. But obviously a big part of the game is these fatalities and brutalities and things like that. Brutalities are actually part of the game, so part of the fight, I should say. So if you could quickly do them, then that would be unfair, but the fatalities happen at the end. They're almost like a bonus, if you like, just to prove that you have the skill to do a combination. And if you can't do it in a multiplayer battle, then it's quite embarrassing because your opponent will just fall on the floor and then they get something to laugh at. But these throwing disabled, all alive. I don't know what any of these modifiers mean. But the thing is that it? That's literally it. But the thing is with these tokens, it means you can do these fatalities easily. You can hold down right trigger and then it's like a combination. Now this doesn't bother me at all because I would never insult my viewers or anything like that, but please don't buy these. I mean, I really don't know who's going to actually buy these because they're not even very hard to do these things anyway. You've got to press like 3 buttons and then 3 arrows, sorry, and then one of the buttons. So it might be right, down, left, and then A. Are you really telling me that you can't remember how to do that? And it's not even remembering how to do it, because you can look in the menus anyway to find out how you can do it. I mean, even in multiplayer games, like it won't pause the game like it does in the single player, but you can then find out how to do this thing. So it's really not that difficult, and there's even a training in the actual game menu where you can practice doing these fatalities. So there really is no need to buy them whatsoever. I mean, I'm sure there's other stuff in the store. Like I say, I've ignored it. I haven't gone and looked for this stuff because I would never buy it. Okay, I would never buy any of this stuff, and I really hope that you don't either. Shortcut packs and things like that. You can also unlock everything in the crypts for £20, $20, something like that. But again, why? You're just taking all the fun out of it. The point is that you want to unlock all this stuff. Oh, I lost. Oh dear. Oh dear. I have to retry. But yeah, the point is, it's the fun to unlock everything. So why would you want to ruin that by paying more money to unlock it? It's madness. So I'm not going to insult any of my viewers, but please don't do it. I mean, if one of my friends told me they'd do it, I would have words. So please don't do it. There's no point. It doesn't make sense. Okay, I thought throwing was disabled. Apparently not. Maybe that was the last game. It doesn't help that I can't see my health either, but I think that's kind of the point, isn't it? And I've missed. Okay, right, I'm trying to focus now. I'm trying to focus. It's not the easiest thing to do, is to... Oh dear. Oh dear. Round 2, fine, let's do it. So yeah, that's my opinion on microtransactions. Like, to be honest, they don't give anyone an advantage. They don't do anything other than just ruin the game. So why you want to pay for the privilege of ruining the game for yourself, I have no idea. But if you want to do that, be my guest, you know. you know, I'm not going to cry about it if anyone buys this sort of stuff, because it doesn't make any difference to me. So I don't think it makes too much difference to you either. But, you know, if that lowers your opinion of the game, then I think that's fair enough. I mean, it shouldn't be in there. You know, I really don't think it should be in there. But, you know, if people want to buy that, that's up to them. And it doesn't really make any difference to me or you either. Now, this has been the single player anyway. Like I say, the story's top. The actual gameplay is really top. And I really am looking forward to having like a games night with the boys. And just seeing who's the best. You know, like you can play King of the Hill online. You can essentially do that in your own home. Winner stays on. And yeah, I can't wait to do that for the 2-player. That's why I buy the game, you know. That's why I like it. I mean, I like playing the single player, but it's one of the things after a couple of weeks I'll stop playing the single player, I imagine. Or at least I'll reduce it. But one thing I won't do is stop playing the multiplayer when I have people over, because this is the game I want to be playing. But what if you are not like me, and what if this is the game you want to be playing online, multiplayer all the time? Well, in the interest of fairness, I did a speed test just before I started playing the multiplayer. But I will start by saying this is obviously a small sample size because it's just me. I haven't tested any other machines, and I haven't really spoken to anyone that has the game to find out if they're having these similar issues. And yes, unfortunately, I'm having issues. The game in single player is great, it's fluid, apart from the fact that certain things like the brutalities and things like that will happen in 30 frames a second. To be honest, if you have a frame rate counter that showing, you'll notice it, otherwise... Oh! Oh, I'm dead.
KAHN wins.
Maybe the brutalities aren't in 30 frames a second. I think it's just the X-ray attacks that are, and maybe the fatalities. So what do I need to do? Do I need to easily wounded? Open combat. I don't really know. Okay, we're sped up again now. But yeah, what if you want to play the multiplayer? Well, okay. How am I gonna do this? This is what I mean. Like, I've got to try and remember to do this. Down, left, down, right. Except it's the opposite, so it'd be down, right, down, left. No, fuck. Wait, what? I thought. What happened to finish him? Alright, I win.
Round 2. Fight.
Yeah, so what if you want to play the multiplayer, as I tried to keep saying and keep failing to do that? Bang, bang. If you want to play the multiplayer, I have played 6 games and I lost every single one. Now the reason for this is because the game was horrendously laggy. Horrendously laggy, to the point where it wasn't only not fun, but it wasn't playable in my opinion, okay? And this happened in every single game I played. It shows you the player ping. Most of them were 1 or 2 bar. I don't know if I did see anyone with green bar, so it could be the issue. But my sample size of players played was about 7, okay? It was about 7. And every single one was unplayable to the point where it wasn't fun, and it was kind of just press a few buttons and then watch what happens on screen and hope that they don't counter it. And it's just you're just basically pressing buttons and nothing's really happening. You're just gonna watch. It's almost like watching a movie where you're just tapping a few buttons because you're not really interacting with it as such. And it was such a shame. And hopefully this is just because it's a brand new game, and I'm not sure if it's dedicated servers or not. I doubt it, but I can't say for sure. If it is dedicated servers, then they need to be fixed. Otherwise, there's just got to be some better algorithm, because, you know, I know obviously it's probably biased, but I'd be a good host for this. I've got a good solid internet connection. I've got 100 megabits download and 6 upload. Okay, that's more than enough, and a powerful PC enough to be able to cope with it. It's not going to be an issue. So why every single game I've ever played has been terrible, I do not know. Which is incredibly annoying. I'll see if I can show you a game now. There are plenty of players. It does sometimes struggle to actually find someone. I'll show you now. Versus player v player ranked match. Here we go. And yeah, just every game has kind of been watching a sort of slideshow, and it's been really annoying. And I really hope they fix it. I mean, like I said, I'm not the sort of person that's going to be playing this loads anyway. But he certainly won't be playing with it if it continues like this. I mean, do check if other people have had similar issues. I mean, I know that the PS4, I don't know, maybe it's slightly better. I was reading an article and they were saying that most of the games they were playing was fine, but when you can't even watch a cutscene without it kind of stuttering, and one game I played had to end because it just completely mucked up, it's a big shame. It's a big shame. So while we're waiting for this multiplayer game then, should you play
Faction battle.
Faction Battle? There you go, see ping's 2 bar. I haven't seen anyone higher with 2 bar. Should you play Mortal Kombat X? Well, here's the thing, I picked it up
Scorpion.
for £17.50 or thereabouts, and even though it doesn't really work when it comes to the multiplayer, even though there were issues on day one, even though there are microtransactions, it does not detract from this being an absolutely brilliant game. The gameplay is just top. If you want to be playing a fighting game at the moment, I would easily say this is the one to do. The fighting mechanics are great, there's plenty of stuff to learn. The game rewards you with your skill, you've got great brutalities and fatalities to learn. You've got a whole variety of content to unlock, and you've got a great story mode and some other tower modes that will keep you entertained. And of course, if you have your mates come over, then you've got a perfect game to whack out the controllers and actually have 2v1 action. And of course, you can organise tournaments and stuff like that. So why wouldn't you want to? They say like this. It's just not good enough in my opinion. This is just not good enough in my opinion. I'm just tapping buttons and absolutely nothing's happening. I press block and then about a second later he blocks. There's no chance of me winning this, and it's just got me in a bad mood again. I mean, I had to calm myself down because I was, like I said, I played about seven games of this, lost every single one, and then took 10 minutes out before starting this video because I want to be fair about it. I don't want my opinions on the multiplayer to actually affect my entire review. But it's a big shame, you know? It really is a big shame because like the minimum you expect from the multiplayer is some games to work, not every single one to fail. There is some lag there, nice. And like I said, I'm not a brilliant player, okay? And if the gameplay wasn't going to lag, then I probably would lose quite a few games anyway. I'd probably lose the majority of games because I'm not the best when it comes to multiplayer fighting games, okay? I can beat my friends that have never played the game before, but against pros or people that have played the game a lot, I'm not great. But when you cannot play the game, it's really annoying. Like, this is actually probably one of the better games that I've had, like connection-wise. Like, at the moment, it's feeling okay, but it's night and day compared to how smooth and fluid the single-player games plays like, and it's just really frustrating. And I think if you are the sort of person that wants this game to play the multiplayer, at the moment I can't really recommend it, because for me at least it is not working properly, okay? But the game as a whole is top. As long as you can go without the multiplayer at least until it gets fixed, or if it gets fixed, I imagine it will. But if it gets fixed, or if, you know, it might not be a problem for anyone but me, but that is unlikely. Then yeah, as long as you can look past the multiplayer, then this is wholeheartedly a game I solidly recommend. There you go. This is what I mean about the easy fatalities. Like, at the moment here, he's trying to work out the buttons, whereas if he had an easy fatality, he could do it before time runs out. And speaking of time running out, that is time running out for this video. I hope it's been beneficial. I hope you've seen everything you need to see, and I hope that you've learned that the gameplay is top, and it's only really the multiplayer component that lets it down. Even though there are microtransactions in the game, it's not really a big deal for me. So yeah, that has been Should You Play Mortal Kombat? Pretty much a resounding yes, as long as you don't mind going without that online. Jumping into the store quickly, you can see that you can the Combat Pack is like your DLC, and that's £24.99 in the UK. Maybe you can't see that actually, yeah, maybe that's just the overlay. But either way, thank you so much for watching this video. Leave a comment to let me know what you thought of this game, what you thought of microtransactions, and whether you'd be picking it up. If you want to see more videos like this, of course, including the most recent GTA V PC review, you can find that on the channel, and subscribe for more videos like this, as well as others on gaming, PCs, and technology. I normally say PCs, gaming, and technology. I got it the wrong way around. So thank you so much for watching this video anyway. Like I say, do hit me up on Twitter or something if you have any questions. But other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.